I'm absolutely gutted. We lost against the human rights abusers in Newcastle. It's finished. Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Newcastle 2. Dirty, rotten bastard Geordies. That is just basically sums up the season, doesn't it? I mean, we're now only 5 points, by the way, above the relegation zone after Ipswich won against Chelsea 2-0 earlier tonight. And we're 10 points behind the team in 5th, which is Newcastle. Never spit again, because I hate them so much. And I hate losing to them lot. I really do. I really do. But it illustrates, doesn't it, that small clubs like Newcastle now and again can win at big clubs like Man United. Newcastle basically the Tyneside version of Stoke. What Stoke used to be when they were in the Premier League. The 2 goals Newcastle got were from crosses. Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Isak, he reminds me of the Stoke striker Kenwyne Jones. He's basically him, isn't he? Put balls into the box and see what you can do with it. So it's not... You shouldn't be happy being compared to Stoke. You shouldn't be. Because that's what you are. And deep down, you know that. You won Old Trafford. You have people going, it's going to be humiliation. Newcastle got 7 or 8. Have they been the magic mushrooms? Have they been taking meow meow or ketamine? Or on the wacky backy? I mean, what are they smoking over his top red? The top red paddock and the top red stand. What are they smoking over there? Bizarre. You know? So, you didn't beat us, did you? You basically beat us by a mini mouthy 2-0 scoreline. So you should be, in the back of your head, the boys should be going, you should have got more. But you didn't, did you? Even in our worst period in many a year, you still couldn't batter us, could you? Hey, it's only your fucking first win at Old Trafford in the league, by the way, since Alan Pardew. It's nothing to celebrate, by the way. Right? You're not going to win the League Cup. Arsenal will knock you out over 2 legs. In the first leg, you haven't got Bruno Guimaraes, and you haven't got Fabian Schär. So Arsenal win 3-0. The second leg will not be worth bothering with because Arsenal has already been sewn up their place in the final, and Newcastle would be out. Okay. The first goal. What the hell was Martinez doing? I mean, he should know that, and it's only a purple patch, by the way, that Isak's got. It's because you score loads of goals, that doesn't make you a good player, by the way. You know what I mean? You know, Lukaku scored loads of goals for Man United. You know what I mean? We won nothing. You know what I mean? He scored the same amount of goals Ibrahimovic did when he was at Man United. So, let me just make that clear. And it just allows, you know, Isak a free header. And then afterwards it shows three of the players, Maguire, Materazzi and Onana, having a committee meeting. I'm not sure why. You should be having a go at Martinez because he was the culprit. He was the one that didn't mark his man. He's an absolute wimp, Martinez. And he had the bloody captain's armband, by the way. You didn't see that on McTominay for 1 game only, had the captain's armband against the Dirty Scouse bastards across the scrum. We got a 0-0 draw there, by the way, and we didn't have Bruno Fernandes. So they have little faith. Right? There's no way McTominay would have done what Martinez did. He shat himself, he bottled it. He's a scaredy cat, he's a wimp. A big girl's blouse. Pathetic. And the second goal, that should have been ruled out. It quite clearly hit the hand of Joe Linton. I mean, we should be thankful that, you know, when he was pissed out of his skull behind the wheel, when he was drunk, that he didn't knock down a kid. So he actually, on the football pitch, hit something that, you know, didn't kill anybody. But that goal should have been ruled out. What the hell are they doing in VAR? It's quite obvious to me that the Saudis, right, they've had a word with the referees going, come on, we'll give you sort of brown envelopes. Come on, let us win a few games. Come on, get an Aston Villa player sent off. Come on, you know you want to. Come on, let Newcastle get a fifth. Come on. That's what they'll be bloody saying, I bet you. Brown envelopes. Because the referees are scared. Because they know that the state that owns Newcastle, will kill them. Because they kill journalists in a hobby, in Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all that jazz. That's what they do. And there needs to be a panorama investigation. VAR is not fit for purpose. I would scrap VAR altogether. What is the point of it? It doesn't help. It just hinders. It's destroying the fabric and the game of football that we love and admire. We don't need VAR. We've only got goal line technology. That's good enough. That sets the world apart. That's what people want. You wait 5 bloody minutes to see if a goal's chalked off or not. And then you have to. That's why I don't celebrate anymore. When Man United score, when people win against Newcastle, because I think in the back of my mind, is it going to get ruled out? So I don't celebrate anymore. And that, what I mean? So we don't need VAR. Scrap it all together. VAR was only a tool to get Liverpool to do what they couldn't do for 30 years previously. And now it's a tool, even more intention, to get Newcastle points on the board. So you dirty, rotten cheats. And I bet you everything in the whole of the universe that your players have borrowed some of Liverpool's inhalers. All those Newcastle players in the last couple of weeks need a drugs test, like Mudrich. They're definitely taking some performance-enhancing drugs. There's something amiss there. Come on. You don't go in the bottom half of the table, then win loads of games to get fifth. You just don't. So, FA, you need to take a look at that and you need to ban all those players for doping. Because that's basically what I think they have done. And even if they do, then Newcastle, if that was a Man United player, like Rio Ferdinand, had the book thrown at him because he's a Newcastle player, get away with it. Joe Linton should have been banned. And why the hell is that fucking Tyndall fella? Who looks like he should have been a model on bloody Argos, those bloody catalogues. He was sent off against Aston Villa. What's he doing on the sidelines? Another indictment, another reason why Newcastle are in the referee's pockets. Don't you dare, the likes of the Toon Review, don't you fucking dare have the cheek and the audacity again to keep telling the United fans that we have all decisions go forwards at Old Trafford. You can't complain about that anymore because you had goals that should have been disallowed given. The first goal was definitely offside and the second was definitely handball. You're paying referees, but then you do have Kieran Trippier, who we all know loves a bet, Antonioli, or what his fucking name is. We know he likes a bet as well, don't we? They love to cheat Newcastle. There has to be some accountability, at least. Now, Xerxes was taken off, and there were boos and sarcastic cheers. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. I think he deserves it. He threw his toys out of the pram, his dummy out of his mouth. He walked off the pitch, he walked down the tunnel, and then somebody, about 2 minutes later, said, no, you got to go back. Let's not forget, Marouane Fellaini had that kind of treatment. Remember, when he was booed, pre-season against Valencia, booed when we beat Spurs 1-0 and Di Marino and Mkhitaryan got the only goal of the game. Jeered, sarcastic cheers from the crowd. Did anybody have any sympathy for Fellaini? Did they? Heckers like. So I have no sympathy for Xerxes. He deserves it. He deserves to be humiliated. He shouldn't be playing for Man United. Sod off back to Italy with your tail between your legs. He's an awful player. He is one of the reasons why we lost against Bournemouth. Because in the penalty area, he didn't even jump. Of Bournemouth's opening goal. He's a disgrace, Xerxes. You had people on the X Factor. The joke acts. Booed. You got to take it on the bloody chin. If he doesn't like being at Man United, if the shirt weighs heavy, you shouldn't be at this football club. Because you're not good enough for this football club. Your fanboys will protect you. Those who, endorse Ahmad, they only like Ahmad because he's got a fucking Palestine flag. How about this? Fuck Palestine. And fuck all the people who live there as well. Hamas are a terrorist organisation. Not an opinion, it's a fact. BBC won't tell you that though, but it's rubber stamped in law. And did you know that in Palestine, the kids there are trained at an early age to have guns? You do know that, don't you? Because there was a picture a couple of weeks ago in one of the newspapers of one of the terrorists who got killed. Yes, I love terrorists getting killed. Love it. Horrible people who throw gays off tall buildings and treat women not even as second-class citizens. You know, of a kid with a gun. So don't have sympathy for the kids in Palestine. You know, just because you're a kid, that doesn't mean you're harmless. Look what happened to James Bulger. You know, look what happened there. Case in point. So fuck Palestine and fuck everything about it. How about that? And I'm glad those sort of people, I don't want those sort owning my football club. Let the likes of Newcastle and Man City have been state-owned by human rights abusers who kill journalists like they're old-fashioned. And that's another reason why the referees are in Newcastle's pocket. Because they don't want to be beheaded. They don't want to be slaughtered. Yeah? That's why. It's a disgrace, guys. It's emotional blackmail, basically. But Xerxes not a good player. I don't rate Xerxes. Never have, never will. He's an ordinary player. He's very ordinary. You know what I mean? And he's just appalling. And hopefully, we had Marcus Rashford or Rashi, right, feeding the kids, eh? He had Michael Jackson feed the world. And you got fucking Rashford going, feed the kids. And it was good to see Rashford also humiliated, by the way. I absolutely loved it. And I hope you far top Reds loved it, hated it. Because I thought it was poetry in motion. It was one of the highlights for me. One of the highlights of being a Man United fan. It was absolutely fantastic. His glum face. He was going up and down the pitch, wasn't he? Going, oh, he might pick me. Will Amarin pick me? Oh no, he doesn't pick me. And then he's let it on the fucking bench, isn't he? To rot. Because Rashford should be rotting on the bench because he's shit. You got some top Reds going, he needs to play on the bench against Newcastle. Now, I was angry initially with that, but you know what? He didn't even enter the pitch, did he? He was glum. He was, you know, ashen faced. He was absolutely fuming, and you can understand. You know, he was butthurt. He was hurt. He'd probably be crying in the dressing room after the match. But I hope you far top Reds, you know, hope it chokes you. I hope you're as upset as Rashford had on his face, because I hope you are. Yeah, because you are the trouble of this fan base. Rather Josh King than Cavani. Pep Guardiola is no guarantee of success. Lukaku reminds me of a original Ronaldo. Eh? Pricks like that. Eh? The other guy, the anti-Semite guy, who made got kicked off JD Sports for his anti-Semitic comments. He's an anti-Semite. Eh? The same guy, other guy who, you know, used a xenophobic comment while pissed out of his skull, and then made the mealy mouth apology behind your YouTube channel. So I hope the last time you're going to see your boyfriend Rashford, and I'm glad you're rotting the bed, and I can't wait when he fucking goes. I'll be celebrating. I'll be absolutely. You know what? I might actually go to the airport and wave him off. That's how happy I am. I'm absolutely going to celebrate like there's no tomorrow. The end of Rashford's in sight, and there's nothing you fat top Reds can do about it.